now. There we go. And these sessions are recorded and added to our Inside Real Estate YouTube channel and often posted on our Facebook group as well. And furthermore, if you're looking to enroll in future success meetups, you can you can go and enroll for one or all the sessions from our from our KV Core live training calendar. So quick recap, if you guys are new to KV Core, your live training calendar is going to be located on the main dashboard on the right-hand side under KV Core Training. When you go to click there, our KV Core Success Meetups will be found. We typically host them every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, with the exception of the, say occasional holiday. I do want to mention, if this is your first time with us, Tuesday and Thursday sessions tend to stick to kind of the basics of the platform tools that you'll find within KV Core. Wednesday sessions can get a little bit more advanced as they're typically hosted by our Done For You Services specialist, Heather, and she might dive into ways to incorporate outside tools like Canva and Zapier to your existing KV Core platform. Okay, so you can find them through the live training calendar here. And I mentioned they are recorded and added to our Inside Real Estate YouTube channel, which you can find a quick link through the live training calendar as well. And we do sometimes post them or post the topics at the beginning of each week in the Inside Real Estate Facebook discussion group. So if you're joined in that group, you can sometimes find out ahead of time what the topics will be for any given week, so you can decide whether or not you want to join on in. All right. Now, additionally, since I haven't introduced myself, my name is Mariel Ortiz. I'm a product trainer here with Inside Real Estate, the larger company which brings you your KV Core platform. And I teach a lot of our Tuesday sessions for these success meetups. They might fluctuate more in the future, but because I teach a lot of these Tuesday sessions, or when I teach a lot of these sessions, I always try to make sure I create you guys a handy doc or agenda that you can kind of follow along. So I want to make sure to share that out in the chat before we go ahead and get started. So here we go, a link to the agenda. Now, in this agenda, if you go click on that link in the chat, you should see this open up on your screen. And today we're talking a bit about the listings tab, how to use that Craigslist auto poster to automatically create a Craigslist post for your listing. Additionally, we'll talk a little bit about ways that leads are captured with your Craigslist post and other ways to promote your listings through the listings tab, or well, not just the listing tab, but through KV Core. So briefly want to remind anyone who isn't familiar with our Promote a Listing playbook that that's an available option. Additionally, through your listings tab, pretty easy to email or text out listings, post to social media, or use tools like Core Present to pay to promote that listing on, say, a Facebook advertisement. So that's kind of what our topic of discussion will be about today. I do want to remind you that all KV Core Success meetups are tips, tricks, and Q&A. So if you have a question about your KV Core platform, feel free to include those in the chat or Q&A. We're also going to make sure that we devote a portion of our time here today just to answering questions that you may have about your platform. So feel free to share those out, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you, provide a little guidance, or at the very least, send you over to a resource that can help answer those questions for you. Now, on my agenda here, besides including some quick links to support articles related to today's topic, I always make sure to try and post a little challenge. I encourage you guys, after you learn about the Craigslist Spot auto poster, if you've not tried it out yourself, to go ahead and try for yourself. I include usually a couple links to other helpful articles. This case, I've also popped in a YouTube video about that Promote a Listing playbook because we won't have time to go in to real deep detail here today, likely. So you can always catch that video for more information. I have, of course, included links to our YouTube channel and Facebook discussion group, which I talked about earlier. So quick links, if you haven't gone and joined those, feel free to join on in. And I usually always make sure that there's a spot for today's recording link as well. Now, all Success meetups are recorded, added to the YouTube channel, as I mentioned previously, but usually I can grab that recording link just a little sooner than it might be posted on YouTube and just add it to this sheet. So if you've gone and you've clicked on the agenda in the chats, I'll make sure within a couple of hours that agenda is updated with today's recording link if you miss any of today's session and want to catch it again or share it out with fellow KV Core users. All right, and I have noticed we've had a couple people join us since I started. So I'm just going to quickly share out the link to this agenda in the chat. If you jumped in late and you didn't see it already, I just posted it again, so you should be able to click that and open this up on your end. All right, so the Craigslist auto poster in KV Core. Now, there is a quick link here. If you go click on that term Craigslist auto poster on your end, it should take you over to our support article on how to use the Craigslist auto poster. So first thing I will mention is this kind of extension that you're using with KV Core is totally free, but it does require the use of the Google Chrome web browser and does require downloading an extension. Okay. Now, when you have Google Chrome on your computer, you'll be able to click on the KV Core extension for Chrome that's available in the support article to download it to your computer. You just click Add Extension, and you'll see a little confirmation message that it has been added to Chrome. Now, I know this is probably going to be a little bit tiny on your end, but in the upper right-hand corner is my KV Core extension up at the top of my web browser. That little blue and white icon there looks a little bit like a house, a little bit like maybe a thumbprint. Now, once you've got that downloaded to your Google Chrome web browser, it's pretty quick and easy to set up. You just have to set your URL. So really, you're just telling Craigslist where that listing is located and what kind of section of Craigslist, what your local Craigslist is, where you're going to be posting this to. So I'll go ahead and click on my little blue and white icon in the upper right-hand corner, that web browser extension. Here we go. We see the settings, and I'm going to go ahead and click Set URL. Now, technically, I actually have my URL set here, but I like to point out it's really this simple. If you work in, say, multiple areas, maybe you post listings to a couple different areas, maybe you're part of more than one MLS, it's really easy to just come back to this extension and adjust your URL by clicking on that Set URL option. Once I click on Set URL, it takes me to Craigslist, shows me all the different areas in which you can post, and you're going to post or click the area which is local to you, where you're going to be posting relevant listings in. So I'm located in California, like the majority of our training team, and we're closest to San Diego. That's usually where we post our listings. I'm going to go click on San Diego. And it's really that easy. Craigslist URL has been set for KV Core. So I can actually exit out of this. I don't even need to keep it open anymore. So jumping into KV Core, once we have that URL set, how do we post a listing? Well, in your KV Core platforms, if you head on over to the Listings tab in the left-hand side navigation bar, I'm going to go ahead and click there. Now, you can go ahead and search and sort through your listings, locate whatever listing it is that you want to promote out. Lots of filters here that you can go and sift and sort through your listings by listing agent, by location, price range, beds, baths. You get the picture here. And if you're newer to KV Core and you didn't know this already, you can also save a combination of these filters kind of as a quick link in your listings tab. So these two at the bottom, luxury listings and Vista listings that I have here, are actually saved filters that I've added to my listings tab. So I can quickly jump to, whatever kind of category of listings I want to see. Luxury listings, really, this is just listings over a particular price point in my area. And then Vista listings is by location. So just gave a couple quick examples. Feel free to say whatever listing filters are most relevant to your business. What do you gravitate towards? Do you promote a lot of rentals? Do you promote listings over a certain square footage? Do you promote, whatever is applicable to you? Feel free to create those filters if you haven't tried this already. It's all about shaving off minutes in our day. It's all about being more efficient here at KV Core. Well, I'm going to jump to Vista listings here to grab an example. And, I'm just going to have fun with this. I'm going to just go grab, I think this one looks real pretty. We'll go grab this one here today. And I've got a couple options when it comes to promoting out a listing. There's a lot you can do from this listings tab if you've never really explored it yourself. Now, you can view a gallery of listing images, a map. Similar listings is actually going to pull up listings based on that photo image and the physical description. So if my consumer just loves the outward appearance of this listing, pretty easy to pull up similar options. Nearby listings is based on the neighborhood. This timeline here, if this was my particular listing, I could add comments about it. Now, this is mine, so it doesn't give you that option here. But additionally, you can include those comments in a seller report to keep your homeowner informed. And I can easily pinpoint matching buyers here as well. If I've got anyone in my KV Core Smart CRM whose home search criteria matches the listing I'm looking at, by clicking that matching buyers tab, it's going to pull them all up here. So I know who to prioritize when notifying about this listing. Additionally, it's really easy to overlook that you've got more actions on the right-hand side as well. And you've got other options to, send this listing via email, send it versus via text. Something I'll point out about this add to saved, again, my, long-term KV Core users, this is probably nothing new to you, but if you're newer to KV Core, through your KV Core website on the search tab on the website, I'll just quickly back up and give an example from my KV Core website, which might take a second to load here. I don't think I've played around in this yet today. And if I go to my search tab or my find your, mine says find your dream home. If I go to click on that, your consumers can obviously go and save whatever listings that they want to view again and again through your website. They can also add comments about the listings that they view. And they can see that every time they're logged into your KV Core website. And while it's not going to be most users' knee-jerk reaction to come to your website and just log in for the very first time, I will mention for kind of repeat users, or say your clients or contacts that are already in KV Core, maybe already set up on a search alert or market report. If they click on any listings in those search alert or market report emails, it actually directs them to your KV Core website and automatically logs them in. So they don't have to, remember to log in here. It's just going to take them directly to their information, and they'll have a little tab here that shows the number of properties they saved and all the details that they've added about it. Okay. So they can add save their own listings for themselves through their website, but you can also simply add it to their saved listings for them. If you want to be a little bit proactive and some listings should be added to the ones which they review. There's also options here to generate a QR code for your listing. Slap that on some print advertising, on your online advertising. QR codes are very popular, very easy just to go scan it and continue on to that information. Some of you may see options to print a flyer. If you do have Core Present, which is an inside real estate add-on tool, which allows you to create CMAs or custom presentations. You may see an option here to create a core presentation about this listing. And of course, there's quick links to post to social media. I can quickly post to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. And really, it's just going to go ahead and whatever I'm logged into here, it's going to open up on my screen, pop that listing in there. I just add a comment and go ahead and post it to my Facebook page if I need to. Of course, you can go and change where it's being posted, of course. So pretty quick to access all that. But again, today we're talking about the Craigslist auto poster. So this very last option in the more actions dropdown says post to Craigslist. And I made sure to keep my camera on for this part because this part's pretty fun. I'm going to click one button and then my hands are going to come off the keyboard because all this is done for me auto magically. All right, so we've already connected the Craigslist auto poster extension to our Google Chrome web browser. And I already chose my location, which I selected San Diego, because that's close to where I am located. So, oops. And I went to click it. I'm going to do that one more time because that happened really, really fast. I'm going to go and click on more actions. I'm going to click post to Craigslist. And this is what I'm going to choose. I just need to choose one of these areas. City of San Diego, north, east, south. You get the picture here. So where in San Diego am I posting this to? And it says posting will also appear on the main San Diego site. Okay. So I just choose one button. I'm going to do one click here, and then my hands are going to be off the keyboard because it goes pretty fast when it creates this Craigslist auto posting for you. So you guys can see it's doing all the work on my behalf. It's going to add in from that listing that's in my KV Core platform. It's going to add in the title. It's going to add in the photo images, the location, the map is populated here. Create some keywords, some code words here, pops in the description. Now, I do want to mention this hasn't been posted just yet. So it's an unpublished draft that it creates for you, but it adds in all the work for you. You can still go back and edit the post or the location or the images. Feel free to adjust this if you need to. Okay. Now, one cool feature of these Craigslist postings is I like to point out that underneath the description, KV Core does just a little bit more for you. It adds in a text code. This is another quick and easy way to capture the lead. So let me point out that if I were to go and publish this right now, posting will expire in 30 days, gets taken off for me. And I do want to mention that when a consumer goes to view this listing, they can go and reply through Craigslist. That won't automatically add them as a contact in KV Core if they're just replying to this Craigslist posting. But one cool kind of alternate option, if they go to text my text code, which this message says, it's telling them to text message Marielle, that's my name, to this number for more details and photos of this listing. If they go to text that code, that will capture their contact information. It will automatically add it to my KV Core Smart CRM. I will be notified that I have a new lead. And additionally, they are sent a follow-up text message with a link to this listing on my website so they can see more photos and details about the listing. So kind of a cool tool that's in place here. Now, when you're doing this for the first time, it's going to use what's called your default text code. So when you're creating a posting, your text code will say your name here. And if you're curious about this number, this is going to be your KV Core Smart number. So let's provide a little bit of clarification on that for you guys. So in KV Core, again, that uses your default text code. You can find your default text code in the lead engine of KV Core if you go check out call and text capture. I'm going to go ahead and click Get Started here. Again, I'm in the lead engine of KV Core call and text capture. Now, you're going to have a personal text code, which is pre-created for you. It's going to be some variation of your name. And I say some variation of your name because if there's multiple, say, Briannas in your office, multiple Eduardos, multiple Ericas, multiple Kims, you'll probably have an initial or something after that to make sure that your text code is unique to you, so it doesn't get confused with a different agent. I don't have any other Marielles in my office, so I am fortunate that my text code is just my name. Now, again, this is one that's pre-created for you. If you've never explored text codes in KV Core, you can, of course, create your own custom text codes. So if I wanted to make a text code that's more specific to that listing that I shared out, so let's see, this was a condo in Vista. You know, maybe I want to create a text code that says, you know, Vista condo, or is, you know, maybe the street address is the text code. You want to keep it kind of short, something that, you know, doesn't have too much for them to type in. You want to make sure they're typing the right code so they get captured, of course. So just something brief that they would text in here. You can create your own custom text code. You know, it could be something as short as text wow to find out more information about this condo. So you get the idea here. And then again, when you're creating your own custom text codes, you can also choose what they're sent. Now, I mentioned in this occasion, it sends them a link to that listing on your website. You can do the same thing by entering in the address of your listing or the MLS ID to that listing here. Additionally, if maybe you don't want to just send them that link to your website. Oh, just double checked here, Eduardo. I apologize, I missed your question. Will the link be emailed to us? Are you talking about the Craigslist auto poster link? Apologize, I'll wait for you to catch up in the chat. I'm not sure I understand your question. Are you talking about when that lead text your code? Will the link be emailed to you? It's definitely texted to them, and then KV Core will, you know, notify you when you capture a lead. Oh, sorry, to view the webinar from the beginning. Oh, yes. So I unfortunately will not be emailing out a copy of this recording, but you can always catch these recordings on the YouTube channel. And I have also, I will also make sure to pop this recording link into my agenda. So if you grab the agenda in the chat, which I'll post one more time. There we go. You can always catch this recording there. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't first understand your question. All right. So with this text code, let's see. Again, I can add in just an MLS ID, or I can create my own custom message here, whatever response I'd like to receive automatically when they text my code. I can also assign any leads captured by this text code a particular hashtag. So this might be a helpful point where I would, again, hashtag with something relevant to this listing as a little reminder to myself that's where they were captured. And I could also use that hashtag to, you know, trigger even more automation. Maybe I want to go so far as to build out like a smart campaign that follows up with them as well, sends out additional text messages to try to engage with them. So lots of things that I could do there. This might also be really helpful if I've got, say, an open house coming up for that listing. Maybe post out additional, send additional texts about that open house information. So different ways that you could use this. And then, of course, I mentioned it's going to be used using your smart number in the system. Now, I don't want to spoil too much about the smart number because actually in Thursday's Success Meetup, my fellow trainer Christina is going to take a deep dive into the smart number in KV Core. So I don't want to steal her spotlight. She's got a lot she's going to share about that in Thursday's session. But something to mention about the smart number is your KV Core accounts will typically have a default office smart number. Now, for some of you, my longstanding users, you may have purchased your own smart number. Additionally, for those of you that are also part of a team, in addition to an office, you may have access to multiple smart numbers. That's not going to be the case for most of our users. Most people, you'll just have one option here, and it's probably going to be what's called your office smart number. Now, one thing to mention, sometimes when I mention the smart number is shared by your office, I definitely get some users that feel a little nervous and say, well, if they're texting a code to a number that's not owned by me, it's owned by the office, how do I make sure that I'm getting that lead, that I'm getting that notification that, they're coming to me? Well, the system is, as the name implies, very smart, and it knows to route that lead to you. When you're creating a custom text code in KV Core, just know that you're the only one in your office that can have that text code. So sorry, choking on my words there. So you're the only one who can have that text code. No one else in your office can create the exact same code. So when someone texts that code to that smart number, those leads are coming automatically to you. So rest assured, you will receive that lead. All right, so I could go and say add, we'll pretend I'm really doing this add message here. Pretend it's an actual detailed message about my listing, introducing them, maybe inviting them to the open house that we're going to be hosting. Lots of different use cases you can put in here, do whatever's relevant to you. Maybe you create a virtual tour that you can link them to. Maybe you, I don't know, offer some sort of printable flyer or other information. Feel free to include whatever you'd like in your message. But I can go ahead and add this. And there we go. It's added to my list of text codes. You can see I've got lots of examples here. And I could, if I wanted to, instead of, using my own name here as the text code, I could go and edit this message, edit the post, and edit that message to text message. Wow. And make sure the smart numbers match up, of course, if you're doing some editing here. And that way they go directly to you. All right, so different ways that you can tweak this, post it out. That is the Craigslist auto poster. That is text codes in a nutshell, just a brief description here. Additionally, if you're not familiar with their text codes, not familiar with your smart number, I'll point out as well. You'll typically see your office smart number listed up here, right here in your little hidden menu in the upper right-hand corner. It's usually the first number that you'll see there. Just getting a little bit more familiar with that smart number. It's also listed here in your text code section as well. Okay. All right. So briefly touched on a lot of things there. Again, we walked through how to connect the auto poster, pretty quick to set up. Again, that's totally free to go ahead and grab. Just go ahead and click that link to our support article to find the extension to download, set up your URL, and start posting out your listings. Additionally, feel free to make adjustments to your text code, or you can use that default text code that is in place. And keep in mind that there's other ways to promote your listings as well. I mentioned through the listing tab, it's pretty easy to email or text out those listings, to post to social media. Additionally, if you want to purchase some assistance promoting out your listing, I will mention, say, Core Property Boost is a really popular option. So really quickly, you'll notice that there's areas in your listing tab to boost properties. If I go to click on a listing, there's options to boost properties. Core Property Boost is a marketplace add-on feature. I won't talk about it very much here today. I'm just pointing out that it's an available option. If you want to know more about it, you'll typically see that you have the option to learn more unless you've purchased this previously. It's included in my demo account, so that's why it says sign in for me rather than learn more. And there's a lot of the detailed information. I've also included a support article in there as well. I also mentioned here, other ways to promote your listing is you can go through the Promote a Listing playbook. Now, I don't want to use what's left of our time here walking through the entire playbook with you guys. We have a walkthrough video on our YouTube channel, which I've included also a link in this agenda down at the bottom. But I'll quickly point out some of the ways that that promote a listing playbook also helps you post out your listings. Just a quick breeze through. But of course, in the meantime, if we have any other questions about KV Core platform tools, feel free to pop those in the chat or the Q&A, because again, all of our success meetups, it's tips, tricks, and Q&A. So now's your time to shine, whether it's related to the Craigslist auto poster and your text codes or something else involving KV Core. Feel free to chime in with your chats or Q&As, and I'll do my best to answer them for you guys. And let's see, Eduardo in the chat says, is it different when posting to Facebook from here versus doing a squeeze page of the property? Yes, so it is a little bit different. So when you're just using the listings tab and going to the more actions drop down, as I mentioned previously, I'll just quickly do that again one more time to explain what I'm talking about here. That more actions drop down, we're just clicking post to Facebook and just, posting it directly over. While this is an option, definitely recommend probably creating a squeeze page. So you've got a little bit more control over how the leads are labeled when they come into the system. So this is a really quick and easy option. This is an available option. I definitely think it's worthwhile to create a squeeze page or a landing page. Now, since you mentioned it, while I can build my own custom squeeze page from the lead engine, if you're looking for, quick and dirty options here, the promote a listing playbook that I want to briefly talk about actually will create the squeeze page for your listing for you. So you don't even have to go through the steps of creating a squeeze page. So a couple different options when it comes to that. So if I were just posting this on Facebook, again, it's just sharing out that link to this listing on my website. When you're, say, creating a squeeze page about a single property, you're entering in the listing address, but you're also choosing for any leads that, go click on that image of the listing that you're posting out online. You're also getting to choose how those leads are labeled in your system. What is their lead source? Do I want to assign them any hashtags? You also get to choose how many times they can view, say, a listing or something on your website, how many clicks they have before that registration box pops up. So that is the major difference there. So really, I can choose, if I want them to not be required to register, if I want them to click on this property and immediately have that registration box pop up to have them fill out their email address, their cell phone number. So definitely will, I would say, probably increase the chances that that lead's going to go and register rather than just, posting it out, just that individual link to your website. So I would say it probably increases the chance of registration. What's also nice about the squeeze pages is when you're generating these links, it does save a history of them. So after you make it once, you can repost that link out and you can post it on many different social media pages. So I could grab that link, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it in, a posting on my Instagram. There's lots of different ways I could do it. But I mentioned the promote a listing playbook. If you guys aren't familiar, will actually create that squeeze page for my listing for me. So let's quickly click on playbooks, click on promote a listing. Now this playbook is a little bit more involved. It has multiple steps. You don't have to use every single step in the playbook. But the very first option is you'll choose your listing. Now I don't have any listings to show here. Say if you have permission to promote maybe a team member's listing or a company listing, you can grab another one. So I'll go and grab a team member listing for an example. This one's pretty. We'll click start promoting on that one here today. And, it's going to create email and text templates for you to notify contacts in your database. This also creates a text code. This one, again, this one's not going to use your default text code that we discussed earlier. That's going to be some variation of your name. This playbook's going to create a text code just for your listing. So it usually pops in the address into your text code. And you can go and edit the settings for this as well. While the playbook pre-creates this for you and you can just post it out, this one will give you some options here. So I can go and change this, or I can set it as my default text code. And again, it just auto pops in that link to that listing on your website. And I do want to mention your text codes. If you are creating one, it is worthwhile to use that on your print advertising, flyers, sign writers, postcards. Also pre-creates digital promotion pieces for you. You'll notice there is a step that says property boost. So if you're following the whole playbook, property boost is a part of it. It does give you some more information on what that ad would look like if you were to promote it through property boost. And the digital promotion pieces, these are kind of cool. So I mentioned they pre-create it for your listing. So you could craft your own squeeze page if you really wanted to, or this will do it for you. And these look a little different, I would say, or at least the landing page looks a little different than if you had created a landing page yourself. So I don't think I have a set landing page, an example off the top of my head of one specifically built for a listing. But here's one that I've created through the lead engine. So this is one I've custom created myself, a landing page. A little different from a squeeze page. Squeeze page squeezes those leads back to your website to register. So it looks kind of like just sending them to that page on your website. But the playbook creates a different variation of this. I'll go ahead and I'll copy this link and I'll show you what I mean here. Looks very different from a traditional landing page. So here we go, it says just listed, has the address, property summary, couple of images here. And again, it's asking for email and cell phone to sign on up to see those price and the pictures. So kind of a cool different way to promote your listing. It's kind of nice. Maybe you want to, utilize the squeeze page, utilize the pre-created landing page, and maybe make your own variation of a landing page as well. So you can kind of post out the same listing in multiple ways and kind of change up how it looks. All ways to get more exposure. Now, if you're creating your own landing page, you can absolutely choose the photos that it's going to display. With these pre-created options, let's see if I go to click edit landing page, it looks like I can change. I will admit, I don't think I've ever actually tried to edit it through the playbook. It does look like I can change the background image here. But you're talking about the listing photos specifically. Let me go ahead and grab a support article on this real quick, because I will admit that it's not something I've attempted to do myself. So let me go and grab our listings articles, website listings details, modify or enhance your listings. So enhancing listing images, I know that is something that you can adjust. I'm still not entirely sure that's something that you can adjust in those squeeze pages to change what listings are automatically pulled into those squeeze pages, but you can adjust how they're shown on your website. So I'll post this support article into the chat for a little bit more information on that. That's not a bad question. Oh, and Jessica says, is there a squeeze page webinar to understand them and how to use them? Yes, absolutely. So you got a couple different options when it comes to squeeze pages. So back it up for any of my brand new users with KV Core. I know some of you guys, when you're jumping into KV Core, have what's called a launch checklist in the corner that'll have an aspect about generating new leads. That webinar or that piece of your launch checklist, it does go into landing pages and squeeze pages and text codes. If you're a user that instead, maybe your broker admin has recommended that you take what's called the Agent Quick Start course, it's listed right here. That also has a section about creating landing pages, squeeze pages, text codes. You'll find that in section 4 of the Agent Quick Start course. Through our live training calendar, if you go and check out our Thursday sessions, for Agent Quick Start Part 4, Fueling Your Pipeline. Again, that walks through landing pages, squeeze pages, text codes. Now that's more of, again, a variety of lead generation options in KV Core. So if you really just want to hone in on squeeze pages, I would probably recommend videos from our YouTube channel or our various support articles. So I mentioned, let me go ahead and grab, I actually think I have our YouTube channel up here real quick. I'm a big advocate of our playlist page, Mastering KV Core Tools for Success. This playlist is a great one. There's whole videos on landing pages, squeeze pages, smart campaigns. Now, I do want to mention this video looks like it focuses mostly on multi-property squeeze pages, which with your squeeze pages, you can create them for a single property. You can advertise multiple properties. You can also create squeeze pages that promote, direct people to your website to sign up for a market report or a home valuation. So this is just one variation, just a deep dive of that. But this would be a good place to start. So I'll pop this in the chat for you guys as well. All right. But that's a great question. If you guys want to know more about squeeze pages, maybe we'll add that in as a topic for a future success meetup. I do feel like the subject of squeeze pages and landing pages comes up a lot. So you'll probably find a couple videos from our YouTube channel about those topics intermittently, just as we're answering, the Q&A sections of our success meetups. All right, folks, any other questions for the chat, the Q&A about KV Core in general, or about the tools that we outlined here today? I'll give it a minute. All right, so definitely want to remind you guys of all of your resources when it comes to learning the platform. I know I just outlined a couple with the training calendar, the Agent Quick Start course, those support articles that I shared out previously and have included in my agenda. You can always find for yourself. I definitely find that they're one of the first places I gravitate towards if I have a question about something in KV Core, even as a trainer. And you can find support articles really easily if you go click on your little chat button in the bottom right-hand corner, go click on search for help. Also find your support articles through a support training in the support center here. So I'll also share real quickly a support article on squeeze pages too, because I love how detailed these support articles are. We always try to make sure that most of these articles include a handy article section, kind of like a little index if you want to skip to, again, you just want to know about single property squeeze pages, how to create a seller squeeze or a market report squeeze. You can jump to kind of whatever section you want. We do try to make sure these include a lot of photo images and short videos. So if you're not someone who learns just by reading about a topic, there's other ways to learn as well. All right, folks, I'm not seeing any other questions popping up in the Q&A or the chat. So we might wrap this session up a little bit early. Little reminder, again, give me a couple of hours for this recording to render through Zoom, and I'll make sure to pop that into the bottom of my agenda. If you did miss my agenda, of course, it's always going to get added to the YouTube channel through that playlist page, so feel free to check it out there. I want to thank you all for attending today's session. I hope it was helpful and that you learned a little bit more about your Kiwi Core platform. Don't forget to go log into your accounts and try it out for yourself. Thanks for joining, guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, everyone.